Hello and welcome along to episode 2 of this FM19 Clyde challenge with me, Daniel. We're back a quarter of the way through the season, 9 games gone in Scottish League 2, and we're topped by a point going into a big game today, as we're back as promised to face Peterhead, the pre-season favourites to win the league, although we've since taken over that mantle, but they're down in 4th, having struggled early on, they're just coming into some decent form now. We've had a bit of a mixed bag across the competitions we're in, and we'll of course take a look at those more generally. And although we've played loads of games and can't look at them all in detail, we'll certainly do an overview and review the last couple of months in the series. So as you can see on the home screen, we've got all the main stats we need. Second top scorers in the league, 16 scored in 9 games, and the best defensive record, just 4 conceded. Sensational at the back early on in the season. 2 big games coming up against Peterhead in Edinburgh City, and if we win both of those, we'll be running away in top spot, and it could well be a very exciting season. We've got David Goodwillie top of the scoring charts with 13 goals already. A brilliant start to the season for him, although he did have a little problem wanting to leave earlier on. SPL side Dundee came in for him. That was on deadline day in August, but he's since ended his unhappiness and he's now starting to play pretty decently. So 7 goals in 9 in the league, 5 in the cup pre-season, and then 1 in the Scottish Cup as well. He's certainly been doing pretty well across the board. We've got Chris McStay, the other star player when we joined the club. He's got 5 assists and he's top of that chart. And across the board, we've just been a really decent side this year. And even the bank balance isn't going down as quick as we thought. So everything's going pretty well on the pitch. And off it, not too bad either. Though we are just starting to show signs of fragility. We're struggling to win the odd game. And we're not scoring quite as fluently as we were previously. So if we go and have a look at the competition screen, you can see we've stayed in the Scottish Cup. And we've got League 1 Arbroath in the third round, so that may well be the end of that run. We got knocked out in the group stages of the Betfred Cup, as you know, and in the second round of the Iron Brew Cup we lost to the Irish side Bohemians, a professional team if I remember rightly, so certainly no shame in that one. They are a professional side, 2-star reputation, and although we managed to lose 3-1 to them, we did put up a decent fight in the game. So if we have a look at the schedule, you can see we are unbeaten in the league so far, just 2 away draws against Stirling Albion and Queen's Park. Otherwise, we've been absolutely brilliant. The only defeat came in the Iron Brew Cup, as well as the Betfred Cup in pre-season, but in the league we're yet to taste defeat in a match. That could change over one of the next 2. We're at home again, but we are missing a couple of players through injury. Most crucially, Callum Moore, who's out with a pulled hamstring. He's been our rucking holding midfield so far this season, and he's going to be replaced for this one today, which may change our style of football very slightly. But another thing we've got to look at which has changed the team is another signing we made just after the last episode. Michael Miller, a free transfer again, and this one's a 23-year-old right back. Played for Livingston and Morton in seasons gone by. Had a year break from football for some reason, but 3.5-star ability, 4.5 potential, and he's been our first choice right back ever since. Missed the first game of the season and signed just after, and since then he's been a very solid acquisition. One of the problems with a part-time side, and we did find it back in the National League North and South in previous challenges, is the dynamic screen is often a bit of trouble. The team cohesion takes so long to improve. It's up to average now, which is the best it's been this season. It's often been struggling and harmed our vision or reactions, but now it's back to no noticeable change, something we haven't had yet this year. It really is important as the team play to our tactic well. We've not been able to work on it much, just 1 or 2 evenings of training a week, and of course most of that is focused on fitness and ball work rather than just tactical shape. So it must make things a little bit more difficult, though most teams in this league are in the same boat, and David Goodwillie's been scoring for fun, which has made up for some of the troubles we've had. In terms of tactics, we've been staying exactly as we were. The dressing room atmosphere is good and they've been playing pretty well in this shape. Of course we're missing Moore today and that'll be a first this season, so I don't know that we'll be able to play with a half-back, but aside from that I've been pretty pleased, and Stuart at left-back's actually been one of the star performers. Caffrey's becoming a superstar up front, as is Finlayson at centre-half. The 2 young loanies improving greatly off the pitch and their attributes are developing very quickly. The other one who falls into that category is Ross Booth. He's our youngster, of course, and he's developing really nicely, the 16-year-old Irishman, and he's going to become an absolute superstar in the future, though of course we're never going to get to see that. But we're going to go and get into this game today, a big one against Peterhead. They've got some really decent players who we've got to look out for. Rory McAllister, one of the strikers, again played at the higher levels for much of his career, and Ryan Dow, the right winger, who used to play for Dundee United, two players we've got to particularly keep an eye on. So Moore's going to be replaced in the holding role today, and I think we're going to have to bring in young Ray Grant. He's just 21 years of age and he cannot play as a half-back, so we're going to have a defensive midfielder for this one, and we will lose a little bit of that fluency moving forward. So a little bit less in terms of tactical football, but otherwise we've got a pretty much solid base, and we've dropped Millard at right back to a support duty as well, so we're not quite as aggressive moving forward now. The last substitution's going to be Moore coming off the bench, and McNiff's going to go into the squad. It gives us two defensive options to play with, and that's something we may need in this game in particular. So the positive mentality continues. We are focusing play down the right hand side. We've got Gilmore and Miller, who have both been okay, though Gilmore's not been in the best form in recent weeks. Just starting to decline as a 31-year-old, but he is still playing pretty decently, so I'm hoping as we go and get into this game we'll be able to put on a strong performance. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Peterhead, so we're going to have to be very careful there. Of course you saw the line-up against Hamilton, the only changes being the right back and the injured holding midfielder. Aside from that, we're playing the same shape and team every week, and at this level we have only had one game on Saturdays normally, so it's not been too hard to keep the same team. It's Sutherland coming forward for Peterhead though, an early corner one for the away side, and we've really struggled to get going here, as with 20 seconds gone we've got to defend a corner. It's Willis putting it into the box, good director's angle as Finlayson heads away, Caffrey moving down the left hand side, and Goodwillie's up there if he can find him, but he takes too long and Dow gets back. Good sliding challenge out for a throw in. 3 minutes gone, it's been a pretty edgy start, but it's still 0-0 and we'll be happy enough with that. It's Dow with a free kick there for the away side. Good save from Curry, although it looked it was going wide. The keeper didn't want to take any chances though, as we've yet to even muster a shot in this game. Back to the edge to Dow. It's a good block down to Watson. The danger isn't cleared though, as it's out to Willis on the right, and Dow plays it back to him again. Cogill heads away as far as Watson. We just cannot get it clear. There's men queuing up on the edge. Stewart backhills this one out. It falls for Willis again on the edge of the box, and third time it's into the hands of Curry. We're grateful to see that highlight end, and it's still 0-0 though Peterhead are on top. 25 minutes gone, Grant with a free kick, just wide from the replacement player today, and we've had to drop to a balanced mentality as we're getting completely outclassed by the away side, and it has seemed to bring us back into it a little, though Stewart's got it at the back here again. He plays a 1-2 with Grant from the throw-in, who finds McStay just outside our own area. We haven't got that impetus moving forward there. The half-back would normally come and get it and drive us out, but Stewart plays down the left to Caffrey, in one-on-one and shoots. How has he missed that? He's put it wide of the post, and I flew back in my chair there, so apologies if it got a bit quiet, but I cannot believe he missed that one. A glorious chance to give us a half-time lead. Our first shot on target has come off camera, but it's going to be 0-0 at half-time. Of course, you saw in the schedule we haven't dropped any points at home this season, but this could be the first one today. A draw wouldn't be a disastrous result though, and the lads have responded to our disappointment. It's Caffrey with a kick-off to Grant. Now McStay the playmaker, the highlight ends very quickly, and it's Peterhead coming forward on the rebound, and now it's Watson bringing it into the right-hand side. Out to Home and back to Dow. We highlighted him as a danger man, he finds Home again though, into McAllister who nods just over, and a slight glitch there but it remains goalless. 15 minutes left on the clock, no further highlights seen, so we're going to go and make some changes. Ross Booth's been in a little bit of a tricky spell of form, so Barry Cuddihy's coming on for him. We've got Jordan Stewart nervous at left back, but he's been pretty good, so I don't want to replace him just yet. Gilmore replaced by Lamont on the right, and we'll leave the last change a few more minutes. Just under 10 to go, we're going to have to make the last change. Miller's really struggling at right back actually. Normally been a very strong performer for us, but today he's just not having a good one. So Cuddihy's going to drop out to right back, of another position he's absolutely natural in, and Miller's going to be replaced by John Rankin, the experienced central midfielder coming on. Plenty of experience at the top level, and hopefully that will show in the last few moments. We've got just 10 more seconds of stoppage time to go. I presume that'll be game over. A long ball out for a goal kick and the final whistle goes. Our first points dropped at home this season and probably our least entertaining game actually. But a really decent result against the top side, and if we can keep them at bay we should win the title. Them and Edinburgh City are the two rivals. Edinburgh City of course could go top with a win today, and looking at the fact we're second on the left there, I'm assuming they did go and win their match. A 3-0 win at Stirling Albion for them, and they look like a right handful this year. We're going away to them next week, which will be a big game off camera, and hopefully we will have won it when we come back for the next one. So the media can confirm that we lose top spot with that draw, but a pretty decent performance overall, and this is going to be a 3-horse race to the finish, and I really can't wait to get going with it. So we'll have one more episode in this calendar year, probably come back for a game in December at some point, and then before the league split we've got big games in March and April, the likes of Edinburgh City and Peterhead, as I'm sure the title race will hot up. We've got a January transfer window to contend with then as well, so that's certainly going to be interesting for us. No real flexibility on the wage budget, so we are going to have to try and get one or two out. It's going to be easier said than done though. It certainly has become a brilliant challenge, and we'll be back at some point in December for the next one, as hopefully we'll be able to get back to top spot. But if you did enjoy this episode and that closely fought game against Peterhead, as well as this new review style episode, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I really do appreciate your support with the series. And then subscribe to the channel for daily content for the rest of the week, followed by daily FM20 videos from next week onwards, 5 episodes a week from our long-term story, and 2 a week coming from our beta save. We've announced the clubs will be managing in both of those, so do go back and catch up with the announcement videos. And for other sports fans, there's also 2 episodes a week continuing from our Cricket 19 career. They're on Tuesday and Saturday at midday. So you will have seen a video a bit earlier today from that series, so if you're new to it then please do go and give it a try. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and your continued support of the channel. I hope to see you next time for another big episode, as we try to get back to the top of Scottish League 2.